At Bendigo Bank, we like to help communities grow. We concentrate on delivering you great products and services.
I like you so very much. So much, in fact, I gotta wake you up. It's not that I have words.
Because we know that if you grow,
Wanna see you looking
the community will grow with you. At the Bendigo, it starts with you.
Welcome back to the Geelong Cricket Show as we continue our coverage of local cricket. And interestingly, during the break, we had a bit of a throw around the table of knowledge here, and one idea that comes to mind as far as Mr. Square Leg's concerned and his problems, and problems for the clubs that are out there playing cricket at all levels, is why don't we follow what happens in local football? And that is, in the lower grades, particularly in the reserves, 2 club-appointed umpires have officiated at reserve grade level for the past few seasons, thus allowing more umpires to be available for senior matches. That could be a way out, GCA. Don't appoint so many umpires at lower levels. Put the responsibility and the accountability back on the participating clubs, and give the senior level, district firsts, at Division 1, Division 2, and if necessary Division 3, the full ability to have 2 officially appointed umpires. Eliminate the problem. Think about it. If you've got any ideas and comments, rawlo7@bigpond.com. We love your comments as we turn our attention to the world of Bellarine Peninsula Cricket Association. And boy, have they hit the headlines in recent weeks. There it is. Wings clipped. Tim Mitchell, tell us all about it, please.
What's interesting, Rollo, obviously it's been pretty well documented this week that 6 clubs from down in the Bellarine Peninsula Cricket Association were docked points for late or not even having paid their affiliation fees at the moment. Those clubs were Colandina, Janjak, Barwon Heads, St Leonard's, Newcombe and Anglesea as well. They were the 6 clubs. Barwon Heads were one, unfortunately, Dean. So obviously my club that I'm involved with. And
who's the secretary down there?
Not me, no. But the clubs that were heaviest hit...
Back off, Armstrong. Keep going, Tim.
Clubs that were heaviest hit. Colandina fell from 2nd, now 11th, Rollo, with only 2 wins, and Janjak got it from 5th to 10th. So 2 real finals contenders there, fall right down the ladder. The interesting thing, they actually met last night. There was a special general meeting called for the league, so obviously that's probably going to come out, the results of that, in the next couple of days, and we're going to know whether the clubs got their points back or not. And the way that the league went on that, I think they were actually going to vote on it last night. So very interesting to see the way that the clubs voted last night.
And it was interesting to read Jason Shields' column in the Geelong Advertiser of Friday the 30th of January 2019, Armstrong, when he made the comment that, quote, "The process is pretty simple. Pay your fees by November 1 or you will lose any premiership points from that date forward until they are paid. The fault in this case lies squarely with the clubs." End of quote. Your comments on the Bellarine Peninsula Cricket Association decision to strip those points, pending the fact that they may, and we won't know that until next week, have given them back.
Well, Graham, I suppose the first thing I'd want to know is, was there a letter sent out saying you have 30 days to make payment? Was there a letter sent out to say that?
There is no indication that that letter was sent out, that a 30-day, but assuming that it did go out, clubs, I think the follow-up process there is, if I look at football circles, they have to pay their affiliations in advance, and or if they fail to do so, they incur monetary fines up to a fixed date into the season, and then and during that time they get continual reminders, and then there are penalties looked at to be made applicable.
I think that makes more sense, Graham. Taking points off clubs, like there might be players that play in certain sides that have made all their payments, and all of a sudden you're losing points. You're penalising some players that are tick all the boxes.
Exactly right. I think that's one of the difficult situations that the BPCA have maybe failed to look at in depth. But we'll keep you up to date, and let's hope that sanity prevails, or more particularly, a bit of common sense. And we'll have more up-to-date information next week. Looking at the current round, the level situation, Tim Mitchell, Wellington, 189 on the board. Jan Juck chasing those runs. And Jan Juck, they'd be coming out a little bit like angry ants. They'd want to get 190 to win.
Yeah, well, Jan Juck, obviously, pending the result of last night's meeting, it'll really just... I think it'll give them a lot of spirit and just give them a lift if they did get their points back last night. But the Jan Juck batting lineup, we know from last week, Rollo, Ian Ligo and Craig Lucas, the way they just dominated last weekend against that Drysdale, I think it was, with those two guys in form and all the good young players that they do have in that side, I think Jan Juck should really be good enough to get 189. But then again, a guy like Matthew Shipsides, who came to Wellington this year, he's been bowling so well down that way. So if he can get a couple of early ones, I think that result could probably go either way.
Colindina are in a similar situation, having lost points as a result of the affiliation fee question mark. Have batted well again with 292 on the board. Benny Ricardo with 83. Kent Norquay with 62. Drysdale Hawks a long chase this afternoon.
Yeah, it definitely will be. I can't really see Drysdale getting close there. I think that's probably the major issue, Rollo, that you take out of sort of everything that's happened with the points deductions. At a quality side like Colindina, that probably, I'll go as far to say, I think they definitely would have finished top two, is now sitting 10th on the table. And it'll be interesting to see if the points don't go back, how competitive that finals six actually is, because a quality side like Colindina really should be playing finals cricket, and they showed that against Drysdale last weekend, and I think their bowlers will just back it up and definitely get the Cobras over the line.
Bowen Heads did lose 6 points, but may get them back, but still hold number one position on the ladder, and they've proved why as they smacked out 335 with Craig Bitterscombe leading a solid batting lineup, making 80. Sam Zeller, is he in great form? Another 59 with the bat. Too many for Ocean Grove in the Battle of the Bridge in the cricket world.
You'd have to say that, Rollo. Good to see Craig Bitterscombe back in some form with the bat too. I think the pleasing thing for Chris Wellsford, our coach down that way, is that sort of everyone contributed, and I think he actually wasn't required with the bat. He's been one of the leading run scorers, got a low score, and Jason Mallett didn't actually play as well, who's already got over 500 runs for the year. So for a couple of guys like Bitters, obviously Sam's back and in really good touch, and then Les Wallace got a 14-ball 51 roll. I think there was 5 sixes in that as well, so he just went out there and hit them the best he's hit them for a while too, so that just wowed the crowd, and good to see Les back in some form, and I think we should probably get over the line against Ocean Grove, who struggled for runs last week against Port Arlington.
14 balls for 51, Dino. Did you do that?
You'd like to.
I'd like to.
Well, the 2020 comp's just kicked off too, Rollo, so if anyone gets into form like that, it's going to be very tough to stop them.
And what is certainly a battle for the wooden spoon, Newcombe with 124 on the board, come up against Geelong West Sports Club and the Blue West boys. They're resuming at 4 for 74. Melville is not out on 34, probably holds the key to the game.
He's definitely the key out of Melville. Got 4 for 28 last week as well, so in some good touch with both bat and ball. If Newcombe can get him early, I think there'll be a few shutters down the spines of the Geelong West boys, but if Adam Melville can stay around at least until they get to 100 with only 24 needed, I'd back Geelong West to get over the line there at Bakers Oval. A pretty quick ground and a fairly small ground as well to play on.
Our look at the second day of play in round 11 of the Bellarine Peninsula Cricket Association. As we go to a break on the Geelong Cricket Show, we'll be back with more on the Geelong Cricket Association after.
At Bendigo Bank, we like to help communities grow. We concentrate on delivering you great products and services.
I like you so very much. So much, in fact, I gotta wake you up. It's not that I have work.
Because we know that if you grow,
Wanna see you looking.
the community will grow with you. At the Bendigo, it starts with you.